Okay, we are back, and let's start the next case. This is number 13, Travel in Time. Murder is no joke. That's right. Thank goodness we rescued Leonardo da Vinci from the Spanish Inquisition, Matthew. We need his help to fix our time machine. Of course, we had to tell him that we're from the future and let him into the machine. And I will help fix the machine. Not to worry. Besides, I love to study your futuristic contraptions. But first, I need to finish the mural King Francis commissioned for his beautiful castle in Chambord. We understand, Signor da Vinci. Call me Leonardo, please. Okay. Well, Leonardo, from what I've read, the King of France is a true Renaissance royal, a lover of the arts. You'll be safe from the Inquisition here, and hopefully you'll have some time to think about our time machine code while you paint. You are kind people. Now I must go prepare, but you should have a nice walk around the gardens. Okay, now let's get this thing started. Ooh. I got the perfect. Well, Matthew, if we have to wait for Leonardo to finish his mural, we might as well enjoy the garden. Oh no! That man in the fountain! He's dead! It looks like he was stabbed 3 times in the throat, the heart, and the stomach. If he's out here in the garden, could he be a part of the royal court of King Francis? Did we hear our name called? Oh no! Triboulet! Whoa there! Who are... Oh! Your Majesty! Do you know this man? Yes. This is Triboulet, our court jester. We can't believe he's dead. This is horrible. But you are the Swiss guard who brought Leonardo to Chambord. Therefore, we shall trust you to capture the cruel cur who killed Triboulet. Your Majesty, it will be a great honor to serve you in this capacity. But please sit and rest for now. We will need to ask your Highness some questions about Triboulet in a moment. Oh no, Matthew. Not more royalty. Dealing with kings and queens was the one course in my time travel training that I almost flunked. It's always Your Highness this and Your Majesty that. Why can't we just call him Frank? And don't get me started on the way they talk. You're right, Matthew. I'll have to pull myself together. King Francis has charged us with the duty of solving the murder of his jester. The jester's staff is in pieces. If you reconstruct it, we may be able to get a clue about Triboulet's killer. Now Leonardo is not the only one with the job to do in Chambord. We must solve this murder. I'm going to get the broken staff out of the way. I would end up with 15 if I were to do all this. Do all 3 crime scenes, I mean. You piece together the jester's staff. It's unlikely that the victim broke one of his only possessions. This must be the killer's handiwork. We should get the staff to Theo right away. Three hours, and I will get the... And I gotta get some more stars, so sit tight, everybody. Alright. Now let's talk to Francis I. Oh, poor Triboulet, our old friend. Where would we find anyone to match his wit? Your, Majesty, we're sorry to intrude on your grief, but... May we ask, did Triboulet have any enemies? No, not a one. All who were invited to our humble hunting retreat in Chambord loved him dearly. You are free to search all of Chambord for the belligerent boor who destroyed the mirth of our castle. Triboulet spent most of his time in our banquet hall, so you may wish to start there. Now a statement must be prepared for the town crier to inform Chambord of Triboulet's passing. And we must go to the banquet hall to search for more clues, Matthew. There we go. Floor cushion. So Matthew, this is the banquet hall. Not too shabby. The victim also spent most of his time in the hall, according to King Francis. So did you find any interesting clues? If you think that fancy wooden box could be hiding something, I say we should get to unlocking it. And what is this cushion? It looks almost like a dog bed, and it's done up in the same colors and fabrics as the jester's clothing. Could it be the victim's seat? Don't tell me that the king expected the jester to sit on the floor like a dog. Well, in any case, Matthew, there seems to be a slippery substance on the cushion. We'll need a sample. One thing is for certain, we must find Triboulet's killer. We're on a mission from the king. And I'm gonna get some more stars, so sit tight, folks. Alright, I got myself 22 stars. All but one, basically, of the remaining. Kinda almost out of time in my day, so I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. Hairbrush. That fancy wooden box is open, but what's inside, Matthew? A hairbrush? It's odd to lock one of those up. But there seems to be some writing on the paddle of the brush. I'll grab your dusting kit. I was almost out of time, so I had to stop for a bit. Lady Anne. The writing on the paddle of that hairbrush reads Lady Anne in English. Lady Anne? The only English Anne we know is Anne Boleyn. We last saw Anne Boleyn in England. She was a suspect in the Queen's murder. And now that the Queen of England is dead, what is Anne Boleyn doing in France? The two countries are at war. We better go and ask Lady Anne exactly what she's doing here. Lady Anne, what are you doing here in France? Being trained. Apparently my manners aren't good enough. Ridiculous. And how are you coping with death so close at hand, right here at Chambord? Death? Whose? The king's jester Triboulet was murdered. Did you not hear of it? Whatever. Triboulet concerns me only slightly less than the war does. A mere jester. Can you tell us anything about the victim? Did he get on someone's bad side? I paid him no heed. I never did understand why a refined man such as King Francis would tolerate a fool like Triboulet. Got it. The sample you took from the jester's cushion looks like it's ready for an inspection under the microscope. Soap. So that substance on the jester's cushion was pig fat soap? Ew, gross and not very helpful. Pig fat soap? Of course that's helpful, Matthew. Leonardo, I thought you were supposed to be working on your mural. I am, but luckily for you I forgot some of my art supplies here in the machine. So I can tell you that the pig fat soap you found is used by the maid assigned to the banquet hall. The maid's name is Gilia Labon. Such a pain, that one. She's forever getting that soap on everything. The last time I was here, she even cleaned part of my mural off the wall. Then it looks like we need to talk to Gilia Labon. Since her soap was found on his cushion, she may have known the victim well. Gilia Labon, we have some questions about the court jester Triboulet. Buff, what would I know about that clown? I'm not in the royal court, am I? I just clean up after them. You do know that Triboulet was murdered today in the garden, right? Oh, is murder what the town crier was going on about? Then I guess there won't be any dancing in here tonight, Dieu merci. You seem totally untouched by this poor man's death. Poor man, he didn't have to clean up after the feast, so why should I feel sorry for him? Now if you'll excuse me, that Italian artist guy is getting his mess everywhere. So I have even more work. The fun never stops. I'll see you guys when these two are finished. So for now, this is Matthew. Catch you later. Okay, we are back, and let's get the results of the Jester staff. Greetings, Matthew. I had a look at the victim's staff that you pieced together. Did you know that Jesters use their staffs as ventriloquist dummies? That way nobody could accuse the Jester of having made an offensive joke himself. Yeah, we're pretty sure the killer broke it. Did you find any clues? You bet. The killer left traces of goose fat and liver all over the staff. They certainly enjoy their foie gras. A fancy pants killer, eh? Well, they better eat their foie gras and be merry before the punishment is meted out. Okay, now let's get the results of the victim's body. The autopsy from Janice. Matthew, Zara, you're right on time. I made some Jester cookies. Janice, I'm sure your new morgue-baked cookies taste amazing, but is this really the time for snacks? Oh, come on, Zara. We need a little humor around here to ease the tension. Besides, this Jester has told his last joke. Someone has to pick up the slack. Anyway, as you surmise, he was stabbed 3 times. Once in the neck, once in the heart, and once in the stomach. Any idea of the weapon used, Janice? Oh yes, it was a sword, but it wasn't the usual sword used in this period, Matthew. This murder was committed by a rapier. A rapier is a much thinner blade, and it was introduced with the new sport of fencing, which had recently been imported from Italy. So since the killer knew their way around a rapier, it's safe to say that they are not unfamiliar with fencing. Excellent work! I'll remember to yell "touché" when Matthew nabs this fencing killer. Matthew, we rescued Da Vinci from the Spanish Inquisition and brought him to King Francis for protection. But then you found the king's jester, Triboulet, dead from multiple stab wounds on the king's castle grounds. No one seems to have anything, least of all King Francis himself, but he has charged us with solving the murder. And Anne Boleyn claims to be in France for finishing school. It's clear that she didn't pay much mind to the jester. Oyez! Guards, have I got news for you? The king's jester is alive! What the heck? And I'll see you guys for chapter 2. Okay, we are back. Let's start chapter 2 of Murder is No Joke. This is what we last left off on. Town Crier? You say Triboulet's alive? That's impossible. You must be mistaken. No mistake. I saw Triboulet with my own eyes near the Musketeer barracks. How can Triboulet be alive, Matthew? We need to get to the bottom of this. Let's go to the Musketeer barracks. Got it. So the town crier said he'd just seen Triboulet here alive. But there's no sign of anyone fitting the victim's description here, Matthew. If you think that wooden chest might help us understand what's going on, you need to unlock it. And you're right, something could be in that laundry basket too. We better rummage through it. But what about those pieces of metal? Looks like some kind of jewelry. You'll need to piece it together to be sure. We know that Triboulet cannot possibly be alive, but hopefully these clues will help us figure out what's going on. Okay, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. 3, 7, 7, 4, 4. 3, 9, 3, 7, and 4. Perfect. Wow. You managed to open the wooden chest, and it's full of swords, but one sword is covered in blood. And this sword's thinner than the others, like the rapier Janice and Penelope said was used to kill the victim. This sword could be the murder weapon. Let's get it to Theo. Hours. Got it. The pieces of metal turn out to be a locket. And look, that's a small painting of Triboulet. But who is the other guy? They look almost identical, except for their clothing. Could it be that Triboulet had a twin brother? This would explain why the town crier thought he saw the jester alive and well. You're right, Matthew. We better check this face against the town records to be sure. Oh. I wonder if... Oh, Charles Ferriol. Kind of looked a little like Da Vinci in a way with the hair. According to these documents, Triboulet was born Nicolas Ferriol, and he did have a twin named Charles. This backs up what we saw in the locket. Charles Ferriol looks exactly like his brother. It seems Charles Ferriol left Chambord some years ago, but he must be back in town. He must have been the person that the town crier saw. We must find this Charles Ferriol and find out what he knows about his brother's demise. Excuse us, are you Charles Ferriol, twin brother to Nicholas Ferriol, also known as Triboulet? I am, guards. I have just heard of my brother's murder and I am devastated. My dear brother and I haven't seen much of each other. Our lives took us down different paths. He became the king's jester and I, a tax collector in Aquitaine. I just arrived in Chambord today to deliver these taxes to the king. I was looking forward to seeing my brother after such a long while. I even brought him the tastiest foie gras you can imagine as a gift. But I sensed something was wrong. The twin bond, you see, but I never imagined it would be murder. Mr. Ferriol, we also want justice for your brother's murder. If you hear anything, please find us and let us know. Yeah. Alexander. Flask. That flask you found in the musketeer clothing has a name on it. Alexander. Could the wineskin belong to the only musketeer we know? Alexander Devereux? We last saw Devereux in England. He was a suspect in the murder of the Queen. And he's the musketeer that Penelope has a huge crush on. If Alexander Devereux's in Chambord, we should speak with him. He may be able to help. Ah, Guard Matthew, delightful to see you again. My darling Penelope has told me about your prowess at solving crimes. And speaking of Penelope, did she get my letter? What did she say? I'm sure she'll tell you herself. We need to speak with you about something else. Did you hear that Triboulet, the king's jester, was run through with a rapier and killed? Someone murdered Triboulet? Why would anyone do that? So you knew him. Well, I knew him, of course. The boys at the barracks loved his jokes. Triboulet kept the king happy, while soldiers like me keep his highness safe. We respected each other's work. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go to my daily fencing practice. Alright. We'll let the bloody rapier run its course, and we'll see you when that's done. So for now, this is Matthew. See you soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the rapier. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Up for a bout of fencing, Matthew? First archery, now fencing? Did your fancy pants family ever let you play anything normal like basketball, Theo? Normal? Of course! I'm an ace at polo. Figures. So did you have anything useful to tell us about the sword Matthew found? The good news is that this rapier Matthew found is indeed the murder weapon. The victim's blood was all over it. And was the killer kind enough to leave anything else behind on it? I'll take over from here, Theo. The rapier was specifically handcrafted, which makes sense since this type of sword was relatively new in the Renaissance. But what's astonishing is that the handguard metal has been designed for a left-handed person. Not being right-handed was seen as a devilish thing in this period, and this killer is left-handed. Well, the killer was definitely devilish, but not for being left-handed. And we need more clues if we want to catch them. Let's go back to the castle's banquet hall, Matthew. Got it. And I still got the first star. Matthew, you're back in the castle. Did you come to see the mural? It's coming along, but you can't rush genius. No, we're back to search for clues, and I believe Matthew has found some in the banquet hall. I see. Well, that parchment you found looks very official. It has the wax seal of the King Francis. You're right, but I can't make out anything else on the parchment. I'll grab your dusting kit, Matthew. We wouldn't want to bother the king for nothing. And those juggling clubs have a T on them. Jesters do juggle. They must have belonged to Triboulet. But what are those little pieces of white fabric all over the clubs? We'll need a sample. I do hope that you can find Triboulet's killer. King Francis was very attached to him and is terribly sad over his loss. Don't you worry, Leonardo. Matthew will catch and deliver the killer to the king. Got it. Matthew, you have a sample of those white fabric pieces from the victim's juggling clubs. Orlando will know what to make of them. This is another 12 hours. There we are. You've uncovered the writing on the parchment. Hold on. According to the translator, this parchment says that the king is ordering Triboulet's execution. But King Francis loved his jester. What could have made him so angry that he'd want to execute the victim? We will have to navigate our next encounter with His Royal Majesty very carefully. But we must ask him what this order to execute the jester is about. Okay, let's tread lightly. Have you found the villainous Vole who killed the joy of Chambord? We shall sign the writ of execution immediately. We're still investigating, Your Extremely Serene Highness. But speaking of execution orders, we found a writ of execution that you signed for Triboulet. Well, of course, we threatened to execute him. His japes and jibes were hitting a little too close to home. And we must live up to our motto, Nutrisco et extinguo, nourish the good and punish the bad. We asked Triboulet how he wished to die, and he said, of old age. Even facing death, he made a joke. We laughed so hard we almost choked on our foie gras. It was so amusing, we didn't have the heart to execute him anymore. We still can't believe he's gone. We can't even bring ourselves to go fencing today. Excuse us. Poor King Francis. But yeah, Matthew, I noticed it too. His Majesty held his quill with his left hand. We better note it down. Oh boy. I want to say it's not the king, but we'll see. Now, I got stars to collect, so sit tight, everybody. We'll see you guys when the white fibers are done. Okay, we have returned, and let's get the results of the white fibers. Hello, Matthew. I got that sample you sent, but first I have a question for you. Have you seen Penelope? Nope. We haven't seen her since the autopsy when she told us about the history of fencing in France. Huh. She's been in a daze ever since she met that dashing musketeer. If you see her, can you tell her to get back to work? Of course. But about that sample of fabric from the Jester's juggling clubs, any idea what it was? Yes. It's English tatted lace, or at least it was before it was ripped to shreds. English lace? How can you tell? Well, English tatting is done with the throw around the shuttle's needle instead of using a picking motion as the French do. English lace? In France? This lace must belong to Anne Boleyn. Good call, Matthew. Lady Anne claimed to have nothing to do with the victim, yet her lace was on his juggling clubs. We need to get to the bottom of this. Lady Anne, you denied having anything to do with Triboulet before, yet your lace was all over his juggling clubs. Thank you very much for bringing up such an unpleasant incident. One evening, Triboulet stole my plate of foie gras, and when I caught up with him, he grabbed me and lifted my skirts for a laugh. Then he spanked my bum right in front of King Francis. Whoa, that's not funny. I agree. And that's why I lost my temper and bit his leg to break free. My lace was ripped to pieces, but I was able to grab his stupid juggling clubs and hit him right where it counts. That got a laugh. Lady Anne, what a fighting spirit. But even if the victim's behavior warranted a strong response, I hope you left it at that, for your sake. Matthew, we still don't know who stabbed Triboulet the Jester with the rapier. King Francis seems very sad, but he did intend to execute Triboulet. I thought he was a man of reason with a love of the arts. He wouldn't just haul off and execute his Jester. Maybe the Jester did go too far with his jokes. Lady Anne had a physically violent encounter with Triboulet before the entire court. Did the situation escalate? And what a shock to discover that the victim had a twin brother. Guard Matthew, forgive me the intrusion, but I have news. I have found Triboulet's killer. Wow. Okay, it's pretty late in my area, so it's already after midnight in my area, so I'm gonna have to start chapter 3 tomorrow. So for now, this is Matthew. Catch you later. Okay, we are back. So let's start chapter 3 of Murder is No Joke. This was the last one we left off on. Alexander, what do you mean? I have found Triboulet's killer. It's Julia Le Bon. What? You think Julia killed Triboulet? Do you have any proof? Simple. I caught the maid stealing from His Royal Highness. And if she has the audacity to steal from King Francis, who knows what else she might have done? She is being detained at the barracks for your interrogation. Well, Matthew, it's a big jump from theft to murder, even if Julia did steal from the king. But it warrants a chat. Jalea, it's come to our attention that you were caught stealing from His Royal Majesty, King Francis. Is there anything else you have to tell us? I might as well admit it. This isn't the first time I've been caught stealing from the king. Triboulet also saw me pocket a candlestick once. And did Triboulet threaten to reveal your theft? No, Triboulet wasn't like that. He never addressed me. He just gave me one of his teasing smiles. But that smile meant he knew what I was doing, and there was no telling what Triboulet might joke about in front of the king. So, did you make sure Triboulet wouldn't say a word by silencing him forever? No, I swear I didn't kill him. I just couldn't keep my hands off the silver, that's all. But I'll never steal again. That will be wise. Now return to the castle. We won't report you to the king this once, but if you are proved guilty of murder, all bets are off. I agree, Matthew. Now that she's gone, we should have another look around these barracks. Okay. Got it. Matthew, if you think this torn paper could be important, you should definitely piece it back together. And there's something hidden in that haystack. Wait. Astro? Theo's robot? What is he doing outside the time machine? I hope no one saw him. Astro must have snuck out, Matthew, and he's probably programmed to hide when his battery gets low. So he went under that haystack. Do you remember how to unlock Astro when he's like this? Theo showed me once, but I totally forgot. Let's see. There we go. Got him running again. Oh look, Astro's little eyes are blue again. I wonder if Astro recorded something before he powered down. We better sneak him back to Theo in the time machine. This letter was signed by Charles. And the victim's birth name was Nicholas. This letter was sent to Triboulet. I'll scan it and see what this is all about. Whoa, that's harsh. The letter says that Nicholas is no longer considered part of his birth family. But Charles Ferriol claimed that he couldn't wait to see Triboulet. Was it all a lie? We need to speak to Charles Ferriol about disowning his brother right away. Mr. Ferriol, we found the letter you sent to your brother. Were you disowning him? You must understand, my brother's joking was growing increasingly dangerous. If King Francis had taken offense at one of my brother's jokes, he could have turned his anger against our whole family. And it was even tougher for me being his twin brother. I moved away from Chambord on purpose, but such was the fame of Nicholas's risky japes. I couldn't hide from the king's temper forever. I took fencing lessons to protect myself, but I'm not very good. It's hard to find the correct equipment when you're left-handed. Well, we knew that the king made a writ of execution for Triboulet, so your concerns weren't unfounded. And being in Chambord as the twin brother of the jester, you must have feared for your life. Maybe you were afraid enough to kill your own brother. No, I left the matter to the quill and not the sword. Even with the trouble he caused, I wouldn't spill my twin brother's blood. Oh, okay, that's it then. So I'll catch you guys later when Astro is done. So for now, it's Matthew. See you soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of Astro. Thank goodness it was you who found Astro, Matthew. Stealth mode must have overheated him. What was he doing out of the time machine anyway? Well, Orlando wanted me to send Astro to the barracks to look for Penelope. I know it's a violation of the rules, but as long as Amy doesn't find out, at least your heart was in the right place, and Astro's okay. Fine as can be now. In fact, he managed to record a little something before he hid and powered down. Check it out. That old fool Triboulet, he thought he could just take whatever he wanted. But he paid for his mistake. I gave him no choice. That fool learned the hard way, didn't he, Trefle? No one messed with Alexander Devereaux. Wait, what? Alexander said that he admired Triboulet, but now he learned that they had issues? And the dashing musketeer says something about making the victim pay. This doesn't look good. We must find Alexander and ask him about the problem he had with the victim. Let's see what he has to say. Alexander, we heard a rumor that you had words with Triboulet. King Francis entrusted me with a very important missive, but that fool Triboulet took it from me before I could deliver it. A missive? What was it about? Ha! As if I would tell you that. All I can tell you is that losing something of such importance could have cost me my life. And did you take Triboulet's life to get it back? No! He was a doddering idiot. I distracted him with my right hand, then punched him with my much stronger left-hand hook. He promised me all the foie gras I could eat if I would stop. Then he handed me the missive. That was the last I saw of him. Matthew, we're close, but not close enough. We must find Triboulet's killer to set King Francis at ease. We know that Alexander and Triboulet came to blows over a mysterious missive. Angelia may have killed the jester to cover up her thieving. But what about his brother Charles? He wanted to cut ties with the victim forever. Did he mean that literally? You're right, Matthew. The only way we'll solve this murder is to return to the crime scene. Jester hat. Ugh. Didn't get the first star all because of one mistake I made. That must be Triboulet's hat, Matthew. But what is that purple stain on it? We need a sample. And if you think something is hiding in that wheelbarrow, let's have a dig through. We're close to catching Triboulet's killer, and the answers are here in these clues. Okay, I got myself 4 of the stars there. Got it. Kind of looks like paint. You have a sample of that purple substance from the Jester's hat. Let's get it to Theo, Matthew. Got it. Gauntlet? Those look like gloves to me. What, Matthew, what's a nice glove like that doing in a wheelbarrow? Aren't gloves like that used for fencing? Orlando mentioned something about these gauntlets when he made our uniforms. But wait a minute. This gauntlet is for a left hand. The killer must have left it here after the murder. Let's get this gauntlet to Theo. He may be able to find something more on it. Hours. I'll get the results tomorrow. I'll have all stars collected by then. So for now, this is Matthew. See you soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the purple substance. Ah, Matthew, you're already here. Amy and I are just finishing up. Listen, Theo. This is the last time you let 21st century technology out of the time machine without clearance. Got it? I read you loud and clear, Amy. Phew, Matthew. That went better than I thought. You got chewed out, huh? Well, it looks like you got off easy. So how about the purple substance from the victim's hat? Ah, yes. It was purple for good reason. Blue ink was mixed with the victim's blood. The killer left traces of the blue ink when they took the hat off the jester's head. They must have a ton of ink on their clothing as well. I had a feeling that would be a clue. So the killer has an ink stain, but that's no match for the stain on their character. Theo, were you able to analyze anything from the left-hand gauntlet Matthew found? Yes, indeed. I examined the gauntlet closely, and I found tiny droplets of Tribulet's blood on the outside of the glove. So the killer was definitely wearing the gauntlet during the murder. Yes, not only that, the killer left skin cells inside the gauntlet, so I ran a partial DNA profile. The skin cells show that the killer has blue eyes. Well, our blue-eyed killer had better watch how they go. Matthew's about to catch them. Okay. Let's see, I'm pretty sure it's not Francis the first. But I'll double check to be sure. Matthew, we have all we need to catch Tribulet's killer and bring them before King Francis. Probably not. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, it's not. Okay, he doesn't have a stain on him. Yeah, he does have blue eyes, but Francis I does not have a stain. And it's not Alexander Devereaux, much to Penelope's delay. I was right. It was the brother. Charles Ferriol, you are hereby arrested for the murder of your brother, Nicholas Ferriol, also known as Tribulet the Jester. Me? Murder my twin brother? But this is pure fabrication. Admit it, Ferriol. You came to Chambord to confront your brother and put an end to the threat he presented to the family once and for all. No, all I did was write him a letter, I swear. Don't deny it. We know it was you. You used your left-handed rapier. Admit it, you killed him. Yes, I killed him. I ran him through. Tribulet knew how jealous I was of him. He was always the funny one. Everyone loved him. I never wanted to be a bean counter. I wanted to be a jester like my brother. Every joke he made, I knew I could have done it better. But the king could only have one jester. My dream of making the court laugh could never come true. I moved away because I couldn't stand the sight of my brother living the life I dearly wanted for myself. So you killed your twin brother because you were jealous of his job? I wouldn't have killed him, but my brother went too far. He mocked me. He took his stupid little jester staff and started pretending to have a conversation with it about me. Nicholas always knew exactly how to hurt my pride. The jokes were relentless and I lost my calm. I took his staff and broke it. I ripped off his hat, but that didn't stop him. He kept making jokes. I had had enough. I took my rapier and stabbed him in the stomach, hoping to make it stop. But he kept talking, so I stabbed him in the heart. And do you know what he did then? He laughed. Finally, I stabbed that idiot in the throat to shut him up forever. And now you must face your fate, Fariel. We shall now remand you to King Francis. Charles Fariel, you have admitted to killing our dear friend and your own twin brother, Triboulet. But he drove me mad, your majesty. That's no excuse. Normally we would simply have you executed on the spot. Instead, you shall be locked away in prison for life. But your highness, you look too much like Triboulet. Your face offends too greatly. Be gone. As for you, Guard Matthew, we are most pleased with your discovery of the villain who killed our beloved friend. You may stay at Chambord for as long as you wish and will forever be welcome in France. Matthew, good job on solving the murder before King Francis got too upset. But our other problem remains. We need Leonardo da Vinci's help to fix the time machine. For the time being, he's busy with his mural, but you're right. We should check in on him, Matthew. And we'll see you guys for A Stroke of Genius 3.5. Okay, let's start A Stroke of Genius 3.5. Well, Matthew, so far we've not done bad for ourselves in Renaissance France, solving the murder of the king's jester Triboulet. Now we can focus on fixing the time machine. I sure hope Leonardo is making some progress with King Francis's mural so he can come back and help us. Hello, my friends. I am very pleased to announce that the sketch of my banquet hall mural is complete. Now it is time to begin painting, and I think I shall use the technique that I did for the Last Supper. Oh no! Don't do that! The paint started flaking off almost as soon as you were finished. But this new mural is inside the castle. Outdoor weather won't be a factor. Trust me, I know a way to speed up the drying time of paint and keep this mural pristine for centuries. I believe we'll find what we need in the castle gardens, Matthew. Matthew, there you are. I need to talk to you right away. So, Matthew, looks like you need to go with Theo to the gardens, or I can join you in Orlando's office for a bit. In a bit. so we need a certain type of tree sap. I can then use it as a base to synthesize a fixing agent for the paint on Leonardo's mural. Well spotted, Matthew. There's some sap on that parasol. Let's get a sample. Okay. Got it. That sap is perfection, Matthew. I'll get it back to my lab to create the fixative to preserve Leonardo's painting. Now let's see what Orlando has to say. Orlando, what's up? You seem really upset. I am. Penelope is missing. No one has seen her for hours. This is starting to sound worrying. It's not like Penelope to leave the machine without saying where she's going, and for so long. As you know, I convinced Theo to send Astra out to look for her, but the little bot powered down. I still think that she has to be at the Musketeer barracks. The last time I saw her, she was reading the letter she received from Alexander. Never fear, Orlando. We'll go to the Musketeer barracks right away and look for her. Okay. Got it. Burnt wood. I don't see Penelope anywhere. That's true, Matthew. We should look absolutely everywhere for clues. So if you think a dig through that firewood is worthwhile, I trust you. Got it. Okay. Oh no, Matthew. That looks like Penelope's ribbon. She wore it all the time. We should take this ribbon to Orlando and see what he makes of it. But I've got a bad feeling about this. And we'll see you guys when both of these are done. So for now, this is Matthew. See you soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of Penelope's ribbon first. Matthew, I can't imagine how Penelope lost that ribbon. It's her good luck charm. She always kept it with her, even if she didn't wear it all the time. Did the ribbon tell you anything at all? Well, there was a substance on it. Janice said it's called Pierre d'Argent. It's used to clean silver. Where could Penelope have come into contact with silver cleaning stuff? You're right, Matthew. That maid, Jalea, she likes to run off with the king's silverware. The maid probably touched this ribbon, and that means she may have seen Penelope. Let's go speak with Jalea. Jalea, we believe that you may have seen a friend of ours. She's quite short, has freckles, and she's the one with that strange pink hair? Yes, where did you see her? Right here in the banquet hall. She was gathering provisions with the musketeer who held me in custody. Matthew, Penelope was here with Alexander, but where are they now, Jalea? How should I know? I just work here. Well, since Penelope was in the banquet hall, we should have a look around and grab a bite to eat while we're at it. Here we go. You found a parchment addressed to us, Matthew, and Penelope signed it. But we can't read the rest. I'll grab your dusting kit. Knowing this, Penelope's probably gonna try to resign from time. Yep. Just as I thought. A goodbye letter. Oh no, Matthew, this is a goodbye letter from Penelope. It reads, Dear Time Crew, By the time you read this, I will be gone with my true love, Alexander. Penelope left with her dashing musketeer? That's insane! How could Penelope do this? She can't settle into a time period so different from her own. We must find her and bring her back. Good point, Matthew. Penelope left with Alexander, and he wouldn't leave France except on the king's orders. We better go request an audience with King Francis and ask where they might have gone. Oh, dear friends, you requested an audience with us, and we are only too happy to see you again. Your Highness, we are concerned for our friend Penelope. She has abandoned her duties to follow her heart. We must find her. Your ever-generous Majesty, be kind enough to tell us where they may have gone? Would your ever-generous Majesty? Well, you did find the person who killed our jester. And you did bring Leonardo back to Schomburg. We believe we can trust you. We sent Alexander to the Ottoman Empire to speak with the Sultan who rules that land and is a great friend to France. The Ottoman Empire? But that's weeks of travel from here. Never fear, friends. They can't have gotten far, and we will give you gold to help you in your quest to find the fair Penelope. Can you believe it, Matthew? Penelope ran off with Alexander the Musketeer to the Ottoman Empire. I've got to get back to the time machine and tell the others right away. Matthew, you'll be glad to know that the sap you collected from that parasol works like a charm. Leonardo will now have faster drawing and longer lasting paint. I was able to synthesize the sap to create the fixative and then mix it with a strong alcohol in order to speed up the drying process. Hey guys, I couldn't help but overhear. Did you say that Leonardo's mural will dry faster? Yep, he just needs to apply the fixative after he's done painting. It will be dry in hours, not days. So that means Leonardo will be able to come help us fix the time machine that much more quickly. And I really hope that he can, because as exciting as it is to wander through time, I'm really starting to miss the creature comforts of 2029. I'm totally going to be behind on all my telenovelas. You'll muddle through, Kai. In the meantime, we've got to get this fixative to Leonardo. Leonardo, I have excellent news for you. Here's your fixative. Now your paint will dry faster and be protected longer. You whipped up a batch so fast? Theo, I think you might be a little bit of a genius yourself. That means everything in the world coming from you, Leonardo. I dearly hope that the work will be complete in a short time so I can get back to working on your wondrous time machine. I feel bad about the delay. If my life didn't depend on finishing this mural, I would certainly abandon it. We understand, Leonardo, but we've been stuck in the past for months now. Another couple of days won't hurt us. Thank you, Theo. I could kiss you. And please, Matthew, have this gift to thank you for all your help. My friends, I am happy to report great progress. Thanks to the fixative you gave me, the mural for King Francis has advanced so quickly that one of my students can finish it. I may now devote all my mind and energy to helping you with your time machine. Wonderful, Leonardo, but we have a new crisis on our hands. One of our colleagues, Penelope, has eloped with the musketeer. I cannot believe she ran off, our little mousy Penelope. By now she's well on her way to the Ottoman Empire, and we've got to get her back. In that case, I shall come with you. My obligations to King Francis are discharged, and I am now at liberty. That is most generous of you, Leonardo. Then we're on to the Ottoman Empire, Matthew. I hope we can make Penelope listen to reason. Okay. Finished the case, but now we got sticker packs to open. Okay, June 13th, that's another Thursday. So first of all, get these out of the way. Fresh 5. Nice. Finish the chapter. I really wish they did keep the food rewards, but I think as of right now, I'm able to kind of live with the changes. Okay, that'll do, and we'll see you guys on June 13th. So for now, this is Matthew. See you soon.